How's it going, everybody? Stout Man coming back at you once again, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some things that I picked up. Well, one thing I picked up at, or a couple things I should say, I picked up at the thrift store, and then one thing I picked up on eBay, and another thing I picked up on Amazon. So it's been a kind of weird, sporadic week, and I haven't really picked up that much because, well, there's been a lot going on. But I may have some good news on the horizon. I will say that nobody's buying those t-shirts, and that's fine. I just thought I'd give it a shot. Doesn't look like anybody cares, so whatever. And it's really, like I said, there's some good news on the horizon, so it's not even I don't even care. It's not even a problem. That being said, let's get into this, shall we? Some of these items were half off, and the others were not. I think actually I will start with the ones that were half off at Goodwill. Because Goodwill, they really don't have that many good prices anymore. It depends on what Goodwill you go to. Even in some areas, like in one city, there will be a Goodwill that's like way overpriced, and then there will be a Goodwill that's actually fairly decently priced, and it just varies depending on who's really in control and who's in charge at that Goodwill. Usually there's a real lack of knowledge on home media, and it's not just a lack of knowledge from the people at Goodwill, but also from the people who go to find things at Goodwill. And that's why, thankfully, I'll point this out in another video I do, but thankfully I've been able to find some pretty good stuff. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you here is not necessarily great, or at least I've heard tell that it's not necessarily great, but I have been wanting to see it, and the price was right. It was half off, so I decided to get the internship here on Blu-ray for $3. It was originally listed at $6 at Goodwill. Here I ripped the tag off and apparently destroyed the slipcover along with it, but at $3 I don't really care. I have been wanting to see this because, well, Google does interest me. The story of Google interests me. I take issue with a lot of things that Google does, but you know, I feel like this also kind of maybe pokes fun at that, and I'm expecting also to kind of hate this as well, because as a millennial, I just from the trailer got the sense that there is a lot of like millennial bashing bullshit in this movie, but we shall see. And it happened. It's not like something that only ever happened to millennials or anything, but you know, whenever you're the generation that's being shat upon, it's annoying, you know what I mean? So we'll see, but at $3 I felt like, you know, it's a good movie to take a chance on, I think. Even though you got Owen Wilson there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm hoping that it's at least halfway decent, that it's at least worth $3. If it's not, then, oh well, maybe I'll sell it on eBay. We'll see. Next up, I found, also for half off, Look Who's Talking, the original Look Who's Talking movie here on DVD. I don't believe this ever got a Blu-ray release. If it did, I don't think it was ever in the States. So yeah, because of that, I decided to go ahead and get the DVD here for $1.50. I'm not really like the biggest fan of this series, but every time I come across this movie, like, I want to have them in my collection because I enjoy them enough that I'll probably watch them again at some point. But I want to get them for cheap, and every time I find them for cheap, used out in the open, which is actually fairly rare for some reason, every time I find them, just scratch to hell, no point in buying them. However, this time around, the disc was in really good condition, and the case also, as you can see, is in pretty dang good condition. So I said, you know what, it's half off. It's $1.50. Originally it was $3, but marked down to $1.50. So pretty good stuff. I'm happy to have gotten that for $1.50. Pretty good deal on this. I would love to have gotten a better deal, but I ain't gonna complain. Next up here, I found a classic, the original Mighty Joe Young, not the remake from Disney, but the original Mighty Joe Young, which I actually can't remember if I've seen this or not. I think I have. I think I watched it with Skin Slip, because I think we watched the remake and the original, and I remember liking this, but I couldn't tell you. All I knew for sure was I don't have this in my collection, and I wanted my collection, so went ahead and picked it up. This one was $3, not half off or anything, but even at $3, this is a pretty good pickup. I believe it has like a Warner Archive Blu-ray release, but that would be, you know, $10 to $15 on sale. So I'm like, I'll go ahead and get the DVD for now. We'll see. Or maybe I'll watch it, whether it's again or for the first time. I'll watch it and check it out and see what I think of it. And if I like it enough, maybe I'll get the Blu-ray. But as it stands, the DVD was sitting here, had some pretty cool special features, commentary tracks, 2 featurettes, theatrical trailer, which for movies like this is pretty interesting to see that many special features here. So I decided to give it a shot. For all I know, those special features were not carried over onto the Blu-ray release, so it probably was a good idea to pick this up. So yeah, anyways, that is that. But the big score, the biggest score at Goodwill, is something that I've been looking for a long time, and every time I come across it, kind of like with Look Who's Talking, it's always in terrible condition, which is obvious that it would be because it's like a kid's movie, a family movie, and every time you come across those, this DVD is almost always scratched or just in terrible condition because the parents let the kids, you know, manhandle the disc, and yeah, it just happens. But in this case, I look in there, and again, the disc is in almost immaculate condition, and I'm like, holy crap. And this is a really good score because it's out of print now, I believe. So Follow That Bird, the 25th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. I wasn't even really, like, I just wanted the movie, right? I didn't care what version I got on DVD. I just wanted the movie on DVD. But when I saw the 25th Anniversary Edition sitting there, I'm like, what? I didn't even know at the time that it was out of print. I just knew this is a movie that I've been trying to get in my collection for a long time. So I jumped at it and I looked at it and I was like, when I opened the case, I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. I know it. And then I go ahead and look at the disc, and it's almost perfect. It's beautiful. So, yeah, very, very happy to have found this. Apparently, like I said, I looked it up. I didn't know until I told my friend Skinslip, and he said that's a really good score. And I was like, really? I didn't think it. Like, I feel like this has been in like the $5 bin at Walmart forever. So I was like, really? I just never go to Walmart, and when I do, I never see it in there. But it's one of those kind of titles, you know, that I think of as being pretty cheap at a place like Walmart fairly often. So when he said that, I looked it up on Amazon because I'm like, is this out of print or something? And sure enough, it's going for like $20-something on Amazon. I'm like, whoa, I was not expecting that. So to be able to get this in fairly good condition here, the 25th Anniversary Edition for $3, pretty good pickup right there, I would say. The special features include a new interview with Carol Spinney, who, of course, performs Big Bird. Jump to a Song, 7 songs total. Probably don't care that much about that for me anymore. And DVD-ROM enhanced features, you guys. Downloadable coloring sheets. I'm not gonna lie, I might actually use that. It also has the theatrical trailer. But yes, if you've ever seen the documentary about Carol Spinney, which is, by the way, just heart-wrenching and heartbreaking, it's also just a very empowering movie. I don't want to make it sound like it's super depressing or anything, because it's just some elements of it are kind of depressing. But yeah, it is like a must-see for anybody who has ever loved Sesame Street in any incarnation. I highly, highly recommend that documentary about Carol Spinney. And they talk about this movie quite a bit in that documentary, and that's made me want to watch it even more, which is one of the reasons I've been on the hunt for it, looking for it, and finally found it here in pretty good condition for a really good price. So that's all I picked up at Goodwill. But throughout the week, I found a couple of other things. I went on eBay and was just looking to see if there was anything that maybe was on my wish list on Amazon that was cheaper on eBay. And sure enough, I found one thing that came to like $3.50 or something like that, $3.50, and that's a really good price for this particular season set, the first season of All in the Family. And this is something that I've been wanting to pick up recently because of all the political stuff that's been going on. The kind of times that they talk about in this particular television show are very similar to the kind of times we're living in now, where you had a kind of an older generation that was saying we got to do things one way, and you have a younger generation saying you have to got to do things kind of the other way, and the older generation treating the younger generation like crap, and the younger generation treating the older generation like crap, and yeah, you know that you can't say that you haven't experienced that going on right now. Honestly, I feel like it happens quite frequently, but this is like more of a contentious kind of a thing. There are a lot of episodes in this show that were focused primarily on tensions that like related to actual things that happened in the past, whether it be racism or sexism, homophobia, even I believe at a few points. But yeah, there are a few things that they touch on in this show that are very poignant, very interesting, and obviously very funny because, it lasted for so damn long. But I've been meaning to check this out again, watch this again, because it's so good and so memorable. So, went ahead and picked this up because it was on eBay for like $3.50. It's such a great deal for the first season here. I believe you can get like the full series for between like 50 and 75 bucks or something like that, but I just wanted to get the first season for now, especially since it was so dang cheap. So yeah, pretty good deal there, and all the discs were in pretty good condition, so no complaints there. Last but not least, the last thing I picked up here was from Amazon, and I got it pretty much for free because of my gift card that I received for links that I put in my TMNT articles and stuff like that, which sadly probably won't be receiving that many gift cards like that anymore, but won't really matter. I'll discuss that at a later date. Still, it was nice to be able to get this for basically free because these are movies that I've been wanting in my collection. I haven't really been that super interested in them. I'm at the point again where I'm, just trying to fill in holes in my collection. So this, I would say, was just a hole in my collection that I wanted to fill that was not very important to me, but was something that I did want. So when it dropped down to a really good price, I was very happy about that. And I was super happy that basically after my gift card, I paid about $2 to have this shipped to my house. So for $2, Madagascar, the complete collection. It dropped to about $13 on Amazon. I had $12 gift card, and then you add in the tax, you factor in the tax, and it evened out to about $2 that I ended up paying out of my pocket to get this particular Blu-ray set, which has all three Madagascar movies, the first, the second, and the third. Now, I've only ever seen in full the first Madagascar movie, but I have seen bits and pieces of the second and third, enough to know that I would like them. There have been scenes that I have seen from those movies that made me laugh, so I was pretty confident that I would like them and wouldn't mind having them in my collection. And when you can get them in a set like this where you're paying basically, obviously I paid $2, but even at $13 you're paying less than $5 a title. It's a no-brainer to me. So yeah, very happy with that pickup there. Especially happy that it came with the slipcover. Was not expecting that because you don't really see slipcovers for a release that is this old. I wouldn't say it's old, but this is like at least a couple of years old at this point. So to see a slipcover with it is kind of, I wasn't expecting that, you know what I mean? So, very cool, good stuff, especially considering with the gift card I didn't pay that much for it. All in all, feel like I got some pretty cool stuff here. This one, maybe not that great, but happy about that, happy about that. Probably the happiest about Follow That Bird. All in the Family, great stuff, and the Madagascar films, pretty good as well. So, that'll do it for me. Thanks for watching, you guys. Catch you later. Peace.